Hello, I'm Pam Hoffman, Everyday Spacer.
I'm Jeff Miller, 2049 Outfitters.
At Everyday Spacer, we show regular folks how to personally and directly participate in space exploration, science, and astronomy. We're here on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 12 midnight Eastern Time, and 5 a.m. on Saturday in London. We're broadcasting live from Thousand Oaks, California. Thank you so much for joining us.
Tonight's guest is Lydia Denton. We'll be back in 8.3 seconds.
Lydia Denton is 14 and started inventing when she was in second grade, about 7 years old. She created drawings in her invention book. Then she used cardboard and recyclables to make simple prototypes. As she got older, she began learning about 3D printing and circuitry.
Her older brother taught her how to code on Arduino microchips. Some of her inventions incorporate them. By fifth grade, Lydia made working prototypes of some of her ideas. Her first working invention was Beat the Heat car seat. It won the grand prize in the CITGO-Discovery Fueling Education competition. Lydia went on to become a state finalist in the 3M Young Inventors Program and was a national winner of the NHL Virtual Science Fair. She won with her Piccadilly helmet inspired by the woodpecker skull.
Lydia was a state finalist 2 years in a row in the Samsung Solve for Tomorrow competition, and she received 6 honorable mentions in the Exploravision Invention competition from NSTA, and so much more. I've got like 3 more paragraphs I could share with you from what Lydia has done. Help us welcome Lydia Denton, our second student guest and inventor. What is NHL Virtual Science Fair, Lydia? It sounds like a hockey thing.
So you're exactly right. So National Hockey League, they put on this National Science Fair every single year. And so last year I applied for it with the idea of the Piccadilly helmet, which would help reduce risk of concussions. And I ended up winning first place in it. And that led me to be able to work with a group from NC State. And let me tell you, 5 college boys, it's kind of nice to see every week. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, very cool. So yeah, talk to us about like what motivated you to get started and how has it been? What do you like? What do you dislike? Wherever you want to go with that. We're open to hearing, and we're gonna welcome some people too. Hi, Scott, Cliff, Anthony. Yeah. Oh, I know, like 14 and so accomplished already. Oh my God, Cliff, it's sunny. Good.
He's in Australia and it's been raining for the past
a lot.
Oh, wow.
It feels like years.
Hello.
All right. So what really motivated me was mainly my mom. She's a science teacher, and she's really what introduced me to the whole world of science and inventing.
Cool.
In the second grade, she's the one who entered us into the Exploravision competition. And from there, that's really what sparked my love for science. And from then on, I've been motivated by all sorts of things. Things that happen in real life events, things that happen with me, or things that just inconvenience me or others in everyday life.
Yeah, that's a really good place to start, I think. So, I had another thought here. What is this NSTA? What does that stand for?
So NSTA is a National Science Teachers Association. So my mom's part of it, since she is a science teacher. And they do a lot of competitions. They also do conferences and a lot of other things to deal with science.
Okay, very cool. So you are involved with, you were talking to me just a minute ago about where you're at in school now. You're just starting high school, but it's kind of a special deal. Tell us about that a little bit.
So what makes it special is in my little county in rural eastern North Carolina, we have our early college. And so I got accepted into it last year, and we get to graduate with an associate's degree, which is really cool. And I don't know where I want to take my career yet, but I think it's still a really cool thought that by the end of high school, I will not only have just graduated high school, but also gotten a degree in college.
Oh, that is super. And I think one of the things I was thinking about was actually being active in kind of like a role of doing work so that you'd have sort of experience going into the future, getting a job kind of thing. So kind of work and school might help you. It depends on what your schedule is going to be like and what you're going to be
Yeah.
wanting to do. And I know you do a lot of different things too. Tell us a little bit about that. And one thing real quick. Yes, Cliff, we are still having a heat wave here in Southern California. I think it's nicer where Lydia
Actually,
is.
a good chunk of the country is having a heat wave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just got over kind of like a lot of heat from the summer, but I'm sure it's going to go right back to being 90 degrees every day pretty soon.
Yeah. So yeah, talk to us about what was it I was saying? Help me out. You remember?
No, I don't.
You don't remember? Okay. So yeah, go ahead.
So you were asking sort of about all the different things I do in addition to science.
That was it.
So in addition to science, I like doing a lot of acting things. I do some things with the community theater in my county, as well as doing some more semi-professional things in my state. And I want to get into some more professional productions, either in TV or film or theater. And I'm really trying hard at that, and fingers crossed that it comes true soon. I also do a lot of like the SFX cool, creepy makeup that they do in like movies and theater.
Yeah, I saw pictures. Those were yours. Those are your works.
Yes.
Oh, I wasn't sure. I saw that, but I wasn't sure what I was looking at. Was it something you did, or were you part of, or?
Yeah, I'm self-taught with a lot of that stuff. YouTube really came in handy.
Yep.
I've only been doing it for about a year and a half. I've been doing like makeup for theater in general, like since I was 6, because that's when I started doing theater. But like the creepy SFX abstract makeup has only been about a year and a half.
So, you've already got basically a portfolio of being on TV. Your mom was telling me a few days ago, you've been involved with the local, is it NBC?
It is the WITN news,
WITN, okay.
as well as some of the other local news stations. And every now and again, we go on there and we are the Science Kids morning news segment, and we have to wake up really early for that. And we do all sorts of different experiments with our mom.
Yeah, it sounded like you've been doing that since you were 7. Like, wow. I think when I was 7, I was like playing outside and riding my bike and stuff, Nothing like this.
I was dressing up as an astronaut.
You were? Okay, very cool. All right. Well, and like we were young enough, we actually saw the Apollo moon landing when we were children. And that left a pretty big impression, at least for me. I think for you too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right. So, folks from the audience, absolutely. If you have some questions for Lydia, we would love to hear that. And you brought some slides for us too, right, Lydia?
Yes, I did. Can you guys share those, or do you need me
Yeah.
to?
No, I'll do that.
Okay.
Here we go.
So, this is just talking about quite a few of my different inventions. So this first one shown is the Beat the Heat car seat. It was the first invention I made that actually won a prize, which was really cool for me. And my brother and sister helped a lot, and even our cat. So if you don't know what the Beat the Heat car seat is, it is a car seat that helps prevent childhood deaths from hot cars. And as some of the people from the audience were saying, as well as you guys, you were saying that there's a lot of heat waves. And I saw on the news that these twins from my state had died because of this.
Aww.
And I thought that was really, really sad. So I wanted to do something about it. And my mom had told me to stop complaining and actually do something about it, because otherwise, how is it going to get fixed?
Yay, Mom! All right.
So I had this idea for this car seat that would monitor if a baby was in it or not, and monitor the temperature as well as other environmental different things from the environment. And it would notify people around you, as well as the local 911 station via text the GPS location of the car seat if something were to happen to the child. And we didn't have a baby just laying around in our house. So we had to use our cat because it was the closest thing, because you can't just go and borrow someone's baby. Um, so this was definitely
Okay.
really cool. And I can go on to next invention if you guys want
Yeah.
that.
Got it.
So,
We both did it.
this
did.
next invention is Breathe. This was designed with me and a group from school. It's designed to help with hypoxia, which is low blood oxygen. And this really came on when we looked at childhood drowning, but we realized this could be applicable to so many other different things. And my team ended up winning $15,000 for our school to help build a STEM lab
Wow.
from the Samsung Solve for Tomorrow competition.
Wow. So you've just got there's one other here, right? You've only got 3, but I think you've invented more than just the 3 things that you brought slides for, right?
Yes, there's a few other slides of things.
Let's see. Well, let's see. What do we got here? Oh, there's more. I thought there were just 3.
No, she only showed us 3 of the first 3.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. You ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
This next one came on during the start of the pandemic, and I made it with my sister. It's called the Glove Press. This used plastic bags to create PPE. And we used a toaster wire and a laptop charger to melt some plastic bags. And let me tell you, getting burned 15,000 times trying to make this was definitely not the highlight of it. But it was still a really, really fun experience because we got to use our neighbors' experience as well to be able to create this and not burn our house down, which I think was our number one goal. You know, building the invention was definitely up there, but not burning our house down was also very much up there as well.
Priorities, yeah, got it. Okay. You do a lot with your siblings and creating these things together, it looks like.
Yeah, I personally think that 2 minds are better than one. And I have certain skill sets as well as my siblings. My sister's really good at teamwork and kind of peace bringing, and was kind of what kept me and my brother from full on fist fighting most of the time while making some of the inventions together. And my brother's really good at coding, which is something I'm not good at all. So I think bringing all the different things to the table definitely can make or break a team.
Totally agree with that. So let's see. We got a couple of audience questions here. You ready for that? So good ideas here. Nice way to recycle plastic bags. Yeah.
Yep.
And let's see. Cliff has. I've always learned everything myself. It's the best way. Yeah. And you know what? You absolutely internalize the learning too. So let's see. You ready for the next slide?
Sure.
All right. Let's get it back up here. What?
Oh, nothing.
Okay. All right, number 4. Here we go.
So this one is the Peakedy helmet, which was the one from the National Hockey League competition. It's based off the anatomy of a woodpecker, which I thought was really cool because all of a sudden one summer, I just heard bang, bang, bang over and over and over again. And it got really annoying. It's just a sound that gets stuck in your head. And so I sought out to see what it was, and it happened to be a woodpecker. And I started to think, how on earth can this little bird ram its head thousands of times in a tree a day and not get some sort of brain damage?
Right.
I mean, some birds are really stupid, but I mean, woodpeckers seem really smart, which is weird for the fact that they ram their head against a tree so many times. So I did some research and thought that that technology could be used for something for humans. And I know a lot of my friends play contact sports. I personally don't because I'm not athletic or coordinated at all. But I decided that I could use that information to help benefit someone else. And so the helmet has all these different plates. And when one area gets hit, it spreads the impact across the entire helmet, which is how the skull of a woodpecker works.
Okay.
And it also has these gel and air bags to create a form fit on the skull. And exactly like a woodpecker skull, where their brains are right up against it. So there's not a lot of room for movement. So my main goal with this was to decrease the likeliness of concussions during contact sports.
So, okay, so it sounds like when the NHL asked for things, were they asking for, what would be useful to them, as well as maybe other applications? I mean, tell us a little bit more about this connection with the NHL, and were they asking for helmets, or was it just let us know tell me what that was about.
So the cool thing about their competition is there are like 3 different categories. There's one for like the technology they use, one for like how the players move, and then one for another category. I'm not quite sure what. But I submitted this idea to the inventions that would help hockey or other sports. They're mainly looking for different things that could help with hockey. And so I submitted the idea and was lucky enough to be able to be named the first place winner.
Very cool. We do have a comment here. Cliff says, good idea for a simulation using a cat.
I don't think he was entirely too happy about it, but he's fine now. He's around here somewhere. I'm surprised he hasn't jumped up in my lap yet, because that usually happens by now.
Right. Oh, Scott comes in with the helmet would be great for police, military, and construction workers also. Yes.
That's the good thing about a lot of inventions is they can be very versatile, even in ways you don't exactly realize. There are a lot of different inventions I've made that I've realized I could modify or change to help a different group of people or to tackle a different problem, which I've always find really fascinating.
Very cool. So let's see. You ready for the next one?
Sure.
What do we have here? Oh, yeah, you've got a website for this too, right?
So this is Regame. This is a nonprofit me and my siblings have made to combat e-waste. Now, e-waste is electronic waste that is kind of made up when people throw out old electronics that are still somewhat good, and they just get piled up and piled up in landfills. And my brother is the main one who noticed the problem because, in addition to coding, he's also a really good gamer. And he saw this problem and said he wanted to do something about it. And so he ran the idea by me and my siblings and my mom, and we came up with the idea for a nonprofit that would help with this. So our nonprofit is basically where we take all these different donations of electronics, we fix them up, and we send them off to places like foster homes, Ronald McDonald houses, hospitals, and other places similar to that where kids can use them and get something out of them where other people might not.
So that's the website for your Regame nonprofit. I actually copied the link and put it into the chat for people, so it's a live link that they can click and they can get to. You have a site as well. And
Yes, I do. This site is my personal website, all about me, my different inventions. It also has some acting and makeup stuff in there. And I do need to update some of the makeup looks as well, because I've done a few recently that I personally love because they are part of my favorite TV show. And
Very
you'll see those soon. I'm hoping to update it probably tomorrow. So.
Very good. All right. Let's see. I think we got another comment, right? We don't have woodpecker. Oh, you don't have woodpeckers in Australia. But great ideas come from seeing things in nature. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did we miss one? No, that was okay.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So let's see. We got more slides here. Let's go ahead and look at the next one.
So, here are a few other really amazing opportunities I've had because of my relation to STEM. So, I've gotten an insane amount of public speaking. I get asked to speak at all sorts of different interviews, like this one, or different places have interviewed me and put out my ideas for the world, like different news stations. Like, one of the really cool ones was BBC Radio,
Oh,
which
cool.
I thought was really cool because British accents are like really fascinating to me. And also it was like a big thing that like someone outside of my state had actually recognized me. And it was also really cool because it was like the same people who interview all my favorite celebrities, which is truly insane. And I've
That's,
also gotten a lot of different opportunities in, if you can share the slide again.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll start.
I've
Yeah.
gotten a lot of other opportunities at Ronald McDonald Houses, speaking and doing science shows there. Same with Baptist Children's Home. And I've also done a lot of local fundraisers. And I've also done the NSTA conference in Houston this past summer and got to speak there as well as just get to experience my first ever conference. And I also get to do the WITN news, as I mentioned earlier, as a science kid, which I had a few pictures there with some of the people on the green screen, which was really fun. I
Oh, God.
love I love those news anchors with all of my heart. They're really fun just to wake up at 3 a.m. and meet every morning.
Excellent. We do have a couple more comments here. Let's see. Okay, Cliff says we don't use helmets for football down here. And of course, football there is not football like we know it in the United States.
And we see the results of that, Cliff.
And he goes, and we're told we're nuts. All right, so we've got some more slides here. Are we ready for that? Let's see. Here we go.
And another really cool thing that happened very recently was the 76 recognized me as one of the 16 under 16 in STEM, which is for kids under 16 around the world that are related to STEM in some way. And they came to our house and filmed a little blurb to put in a documentary, which
Wow.
my inner theater kid was absolutely freaking out when that happened because it was like the first time I've been filmed professionally. So that was insanely cool, as
And
well as being one of Carolina Biological's Young Innovators. And I'm part of their program and have spoke on their behalf at different conferences. I did a virtual conference very recently, which was insanely cool. It was like the biggest audience I'd ever presented in front of, as well as I helped represent them at the Houston conference and some other interviews I've done. And yeah, that's just insanely cool.
was that the Sciences Cool 9? Because that's where I heard you
Yes.
and Joaquin together. And actually reached out to them and I said, hey, we would love to have, you're the first two students we've had on our show. We're always looking for as many different types of people with different interests and so forth. So thank you very, very much for coming. I think I see another comment here.
Yeah.
What do we have?
Cliff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, they're a little bit behind. In fact, I think in Australia, they're getting us about 20 to 30 seconds behind. Most of the people have like, just a few seconds or up to 10 seconds. But yeah, Cliff. Yeah, the gold, right. Yeah, it's pretty hard to get the gold off of circuit boards, though.
Yeah, use a lot of chemicals, and
yeah,
if you're careful, you don't pollute the land around you. But if you're not careful, it's not good for your area.
All right. So anything else you want to say on this slide here, Lydia?
I don't think so. I think that's all for that slide.
All right. Let's go to the next one.
So here are some pictures of me doing other really cool stuff. So on the left, you'll see me with my little plaque that I got from an STA for being the 2022 Angelo Award winner, which is a competition for grades 5 through 8, and it's only for girls in STEM. And that was my, I think, 4th year trying to apply to this competition. And I think what was really cool for me and what I can use as a really good example was the fact that I didn't give up. It took me 4 different tries and 4 different years of trying. And I finally got it on my 4th year simply because I persevered and I didn't give up. And
Bravo.
I like to use that as a really good example of the great things you can achieve when you just don't give up and you keep on keeping on. And then on the right here, I have a little copy right here. It is the Girls Like You magazine, which I help write a little science blurb in it, but they have different pages of us, of me and my sister, where they interviewed us. And I got to be on the cover of it, which was insanely cool. And me and my sister also write this really cool page where every single issue they ask us to write like a little experiment or a little thing science related, which is really cool. This is the, I think, March and April issue.
So wait, you actually get to be in this every single, what do they do? Monthly, quarterly, something?
It is every 2 months they have
Every 2
one.
months?
And so me and my sister every 2 months will write a little experiment, or sometimes it'll ask for different things to put into the magazine. And then the first time I was affiliated with it, they put me on the cover, which was really
Wow.
cool because I had never been in like a magazine, especially not on the cover. And I actually shot this photo in the snow as well. So
Oh, wow.
it was absolutely freezing. But
I'm sitting here going, when do you have the time for this? Of course, 2 months is a little better than once a month, but wow.
we were off of school, so
Okay.
and most of the time we do it on the weekends, and it usually doesn't take too long because it's only about half a page.
Got it. Okay, Cliff comes back with, we do have McDonald House down here for sick and terminal kids. Yeah. And
That's
like I
always
said,
a great experience because they always love being able to see all the different science experiments and just get away from whatever they're experiencing at the moment.
Yep.
Cool. And Tex is also in Australia. He said, finally made it. Yeah, Cliff, I know you've got a really big lag tonight. It sounds like more than 30 seconds even. Great training for space travel. That's the way I look at that. All right, you ready for your next slides, Lydia?
Yes.
All righty, let's go on to.
Oops, nope. That's.
Looks like
that's
the end of it. Yeah. Well, you know what? This has been so incredible. I'm just blown away. I mean, I knew some of these things, but the more you talk, the more impressed I am, and I just can't wait to see what happens in the future.
Me too. It still blows my mind because it doesn't quite feel real all the time. I think some of it still feels like some crazy thing that happened in a dream. But, I try to embrace it when I can. But yeah, it's definitely very surreal and really cool.
That's great. So speaking of future, you're going to go through this kind of high school college arrangement, and are you going to go on to college then after that to take more training? Are you going to look for some kind of what are you thinking about for the future?
I don't really know. I need to see what I want to get my associate's degree in. But I do want to do acting, I think, as a professional career because I really love it. I've been doing it even longer than I have been doing science. But if that doesn't work, I always have science to come back to, or I can do part-time acting, part-time science. Because most of the time, if you do like Broadway or things like that, you only have rehearsals at night. So it'd be easy to still do other cool sciencey stuff and invent.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we're near LA, so we know a lot of there are a lot of actors around here, and it might be preferable to be an actor who's actually a scientist rather than an actor who's actually a waitress.
Yeah.
Yes. That'll definitely help, I think. Yeah. And I'm hoping to move to New York at some point. We actually visited visited there during the summer, and it was really cool to see all that, and we got to see some really cool celebrities as well, which definitely was insane. And I know my mom was personally just absolutely freaking out and fangirling. And I know we have some people from Australia, but we saw Hugh Jackman because he's currently in The Music Man, and he's from Australia. And my mom was absolutely freaking out because she grew up with him, and she's behind the camera absolutely blushing right now.
So I think you have some wonderful examples of young women who are actors, but they also, like, what is she on The Big Bang Theory? Mahala Blahnik?
Mayim Balak.
Yeah, I don't know how to say her name, but you know who I'm talking
Me
about,
neither.
right?
Yeah. She did like this neuroscience talk that I attended, which was really
Oh,
cool. It
very
was really cool.
And I think Natalie Portman is a scientist as well, right? So
I'm
yeah,
not quite sure. I'd have to look that up.
I
But
think so.
yeah, you can see there's a lot of actors who are also like doctors or scientists or have other career paths. Like Ken Jeong, he's a doctor as well as an actor and comedian.
Okay, so we got a couple more comments for you. Scott wants to know, what are you working on next? Are you doing research on solving a new problem? You have another invention in the wings?
So there is currently one that I'm working on with my sister that I can't talk much about, sadly, because we've signed a bit of an NDA with a few companies. We're trying to get it out there right now. It does have something to do with, something for human is what I'm gonna say. I don't want to give too much away.
Yep.
But it's definitely something that I know my sister is very excited about because she had the idea originally and kind of ripped me into it. Right now there's not a whole lot other than that. Because I just started high school and technically college at the same time. I'm trying to figure out that balance before I try to add too much to my plate. And I'm also currently in a musical, and it's a really big musical, so I need to put that first before I try to do anything that gets too much.
Sounds more like juggling than balancing. But that's awesome. You know, my friend Janie Becker says, inspiring young lady and great family. And I absolutely agree. I think it's wonderful to have, siblings who you can work with together like this. You can help support each other. And I hope you continue to do that. That's a wonderful thing. Siblings can sometimes be totally at each other's throats.
That's how me and my brother are most of the time. But my sister is mainly the peace bringer between us.
That's what you were saying.
As the middle child, isn't that supposed to be your job?
I don't think that works because my sister and brother get along great, but he has some personal vendetta against me or something.
Oh, no!
I don't know. I try not to be too annoying. I don't know. It's maybe that I'm just a little too extroverted for him, but I don't know. We're like oil and water.
So Cliff says, it's like myself, living when I saw Neil walk on the moon. Yeah, you are in the right time to experience this explosion of space and exploration. Go far. Oh, that's so nice. So, Lydia, I'd like you to stick around just for a little bit. If we have some more comments, is there anything else you wanted to share with the audience? And, you are welcome to come back at some future point, be a guest on our show, that kind of thing. It doesn't have to be all tonight. We do have some people that come back, again in the future. But yeah, we have a couple more segments. If you don't mind sticking around in case we get some more comments, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, I can definitely stick around. It's not too late yet.
It's getting there, I know.
It's technically early at this point for me because over in North Carolina, it's currently 12:40 a.m.
Right.
Yeah. A little on the late/early side. I don't know what to call it at this point, but
late, early morning, yeah.
I had enough caffeine. I'll be fine. And this is fun anyways. I love doing this. So.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm so glad you're having a good time with it. That's part of what we want to do is have fun and to really demonstrate that there's lots of possibilities for getting involved with. So I think a lot of people think it's for rich guys or governments or something you watch on TV, and it's so not true. All right, so I'm going to skip that part. Go ahead with this part, Jeff.
Okay, some stellar events this week, September 9th through September 16th. September 10th is the full harvest moon, and Neptune and the moon are in conjunction. September 11th, Jupiter and the moon are in conjunction, which you'll be actually able to see. I saw Saturn and the moon just earlier this week. September 14th, Uranus and the moon are in conjunction. You won't be able to see Uranus without some
binoculars. Apparently, we found out.
Yeah. September 16th is our Friday night show with another guest. You'll be surprised to learn who it is, so stick around. I think we already covered that already.
Nope, we haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
That was the pre-talk.
Oh, okay. Find us Fridays at 9 p.m. Pacific time on the Everyday Spacer Facebook page and the Everyday Spacer YouTube channel. If you're local, keep in mind the next VCAS Star Party is on September 17th. And
that's local to us here in Thousand Oaks.
Ventura County Astronomical Association.
Yes, and I want to definitely remind people that my next class starts on Tuesday, September 13th, runs for 7 weeks through October 25th. If you are in and around Thousand Oaks, California, I'd love to show you the best ways to get the most out of the night sky. That one is, where is it? It's here somewhere. We'll share it in the chat later. That's fine. Let's see. We had another comment.
A couple.
Okay. Let's go with Scott's for yeah. I absolutely agree. Positive energy and just enthusiasm. It's wonderful. Go ahead with Cliff's.
Mm-hmm. Look at Professor Brian Cox and Professor Brian May.
Yep.
Both pop group idols.
Oh, I didn't know about Brian Cox. I knew Brian May was he was a guitarist for Queen, and he's
that's awesome.
Yeah. He's actually the one who started Astronomy Day or Asteroid Day. All right, so let's see. Some other events and activities. Last month, our guest, Joaquin, who is also our student guest, mentioned several competitions. We found the Society for Science, which has a number of science and space-related competitions. And we're going to definitely delve into some of those a little bit later, especially when we have like the start or, deadlines, that kind of thing. You got the banner?
Which one?
Societyforscience.org.
Oh, okay. Yep, right there.
All righty, there it is. Also, we wanted to remind you that Space Prize has a speaker series. It's just a YouTube channel. I'm going to pop that into the chat so you have a live link. The Space Education Symposium is going to be on November 12th. That's hosted by the Human Space Program. Frank White is behind that stuff. Have you heard of Frank White, Lydia?
I don't believe so, but it could also be my brain being very tired.
So he wrote a book called The Overview Effect. When the astronauts come back to Earth, they have a very shifted sense of where, our place in the universe because they've seen the planet from a very different perspective, and they call that the overview effect. So I think Human Space Program is going to delve into some of that too. The Space Apps Challenge is going to be October 1st and 2nd. This is a NASA annual event, and I just wanted to mention that Space Apps inspires local communities to come together, think intensely, and create solutions to important problems. And the teams are all over the world. You can form a team from anywhere in the world. So that one's not yet. We checked. You're up.
Okay, if you or someone you know has done something interesting and involving space exploration, science, or astronomy, we'd love to share our live. Join us again next Friday, September 16th, when Covey Denton, Lydia's mom, will join us as our next guest.
I can't wait. It'll be Lydia and then her mom. We've never done that before. Thank you so much, everyone. Lydia, any last words?
I would just like to say a little bit just encouraging words. That I feel like science can be for anyone. That you don't have to be a specific type of person, a specific gender or anything. that anyone should be able to do what they love, no matter what. And that honestly, more women need to be included in STEM because they will have so many more diverse ideas. And I just think that if you want to pursue STEM, you should. And that everyone should just do what they love.
Yeah, I've even read some books about like collaborating. And one of the things, if I ever have like, bored, I'm going to have kids and retired folks, someone who's 100 years old would be great because they have a very different perspective on things. We do have another comment, Cliff. Like me, whoops, we tried to do it at once. We love you being on our show too, Cliff. In fact, we're going to do a shout out real quick. Cliff, thanks so much. Scott, Janie Becker, Tex, fantastic that you made it for once. I really appreciate that. And let's see, who else do we have here?
Anthony.
Yeah, great group tonight. Great questions.
And Lydia.
Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Oh, good. If you'd like to come back at some point, I'm sure we can arrange that. And any last words from you?
No.
All right. I'm going to do the outro. Have a great week, folks. And we'll see you again on Friday the 16th. Good night.
Good night.